Right, now in this video, we are going to bootstrap our application. In other words, you're going to ensure that our PHP files can connect to the database. And this is how I want us to do it. So in this video, we're going to come up with this file. So on the root folder here, I want you to create this file and name it bootstrap.php. So once you have this file like that, within your index.php, which is this one here. So what I would like you to do is start with your PHP, and then I want you to require this given file here. So what you're going to do is you're going to have dir, and then here, what I'm going to do here is, let me just have this, and then you're going to have two dots and then bootstrap.php. Now, what is happening here, this dot sign here is just a connector. It is what we call concatenation in PHP and of course in other languages. So what we are doing here is that the two dots basically means that when I hover over here, you can see this file is on the root of our project. And what is happening here is that basically means that from the index, we are requiring this file. So it means that from the index here, we are moving two folders, which is public and PHP MVC block. And then from there, we come to bootstrap.php. That's what this two dot sign means. In other words, it means you are moving up by two directories and then coming to bootstrap.php. Now, once that is created, now I want us to go to our file. We can save this one by hitting Ctrl S. And then on this one here, we are going to we're going to have our PHP there. The first line of code I want us to have here, just above here, is session start. Session start is, it's a very important, and you're going to know about it as we continue. Now, the next one here is just to set the errors. So here we're going to have set error reporting like that. And this error reportings as I type that, this one is going to be yes, this, and then the last one here is, so error reporting basically means that if there are going to be errors, then of course you're going to report them. And the next one is define the base directory is the absolute. Of course, we already have told you about the absolute part of our given application. For example, when you look at this one here, this one is not an absolute path. This is what the required directory is called a magic constant, and basically what this one returns, this magic constant path returns a relative path, but not the absolute. The relative path basically means that you can see we have all the two dots, which represent we are moving two folders, then getting the file that we want. But this case in here, for example, if we were to define the bootstrap, since it is on the root, what would happen is that we would just have something like this. So just have bootstrap like that because it is on the root, and then just like that. And of course, this one would now change it to a base, of course, that is underscore air like that. So that returns now the absolute part. But since this is not the case, we need to have it this way because let's just add this code here and then I will explain further. So here we define this, but here we are going to change something here. Now what we're going to change is this directory. Directory name, we are going to remove it, and as well as this, we are only going to have one. This basically means that the base directory is the absolute path, and the base directory that we have is the PHP MVC block. That is what we have. So when we added the directory name, it means that it's like a subfolder of another directory, which in this case is we don't have a subfolder. In other words, this is the base directory. So we are going to remove the directory name. So have that in mind. And then the other part here is that we are going to include the composers to loader like that. So here we're going to say require, and then this one I would like us to have require once like that. So here we're going to use the base directory, and then you're going to provide the absolute path, because we know from our given application our vendor directory is here and then our file is here. So this becomes now the absolute path, bearing in mind PHP MVC blog is the base directory. Right. So once we have that one, the next part here is to include. So here we're going to include. Actually, we don't need to include. So the next part here, we need to include the database class, which is very correct. So here we're going to have this. So the config and then db.php is going to be included on this part here. So that is it, because you already know we have it here. So that now the index.php is now able to require that file, which has now this given code here. So the autoload the db.php like that. Right. So now once we have that one, now everything is good to go. We can still come here. Now we already know now this one, we add this one like this. But now since we already have this one like this, so we don't actually require now this file again. So we can go ahead and delete this file because we don't need it. We already know our connection is successful. Now in the next video, we're now going to create the tables, and then from there we can move further.